So this is going to be an instructional / overview video of the Adria Twin 640 SGX Sport. First of all, we're going to go around the external of the vehicle and then we will go into the habitation area. Just to let you know, this is in the middle of PDI, so this vehicle has yet not been valeted, internal or external. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to open the bonnet, and this is just in case for any reason you need access to the bonnet area, as well as I'll show you the terminal points in case you need to jump start the vehicle for any reason. If you open the passenger door, you'll see on the side of the dash here is your bonnet release catch. All you need to do, pull that down once and that will then release. So as you can see, I have now got the bonnet open. Like I said, the main reason really is in case you need to jump start this vehicle for any reason. So here on this bolt here, we have your negative terminal point, and then your positive terminal point is just this plate here, which is under this black cap here, this cover. So that is your positive terminal point down here, and then your negative is just this here. Obviously under here, in front of the driver in the corner, we do have your screen wash fill as well. So now we will carry on around the external of the vehicle. As you can see, this vehicle does come with an external awning. I'll send a separate link on the email how to set up and use the awning. We'll carry on around on the passenger side. So next to the passenger door, we have your diesel fill and AdBlue fill. On your diesel fill, you just need to use your vehicle blade key. That will then open the diesel cap. And then obviously below it is just AdBlue. Just before we do go in the habitation, on the passenger side, here we do have a master switch. This is for your leisure battery, so if you turn this off here, that will stop obviously any leisure current coming from the leisure batteries into the habitation area. Most people leave this on, but this is where there is an isolation switch as well. Your next compartment we come to is going to be your main hookup. So this is where you'll connect when you're at campsite, or if you want to connect at home by charging the vehicle. The next locker we come to is going to be your toilet cassette locker. Also in here is your grey waste drain release valve. First of all, we'll show you the cassette. So here, if you want to empty and clean your cassette by taking it out, you just need to lift this blue tab up. If you lift this up and then pull the cassette towards you, that will then release the cassette. Now I want to empty / clean my cassette. To empty it, what you need to do is this grey nozzle on the left, twist this out to the left and take this blue cap off. When you take the blue cap off, to empty it, if you tilt the cassette up and put your thumb on this button at the top here, this lets air into the top of the cassette so all the fluids flow out a lot faster. Also, you can open the toilet cassette blade and open the toilet cassette inside as well and clean out internally with a hose pipe if need as well. Once finished, put the cap back on, twist the nozzle back in, and then you can put your toilet cassette back into place. All you need to do is align it, push it in, and the main thing here, we need to make sure that this blue tab is now down securely so your toilet cassette is not going to move in transit. Here on the right hand side we have your grey waste valve control. So there is a sticker on here which is showing you, and you need to use this handle here, and this handle does get stored in here. So basically all you need to do is put this handle on, and then to open the valve you just lift it up. You lift it up to close it, and then to open the valve you just push that down and that will open the valve. The grey waste drains directly underneath the motorhome like so, in that grey waste pipe there. So obviously I won't want to close it, lift it up, take the handle out, and that is then closed. If you want to open it, push the handle down, take the handle out and leave it open. Like I said, it is secured here, like so. Next we have external shower point. So you've got obviously hot and cold. Obviously the hot will only work if you've obviously heated the hot water up, and obviously you have got a switch here for the pump to be on and off as well. You will need to turn on your 12-volt system for that, for the pump to work. So that is everything really on the passenger side. We've got the garage doors open. We'll go over that in just a moment, because then we'll go into the habitation area. The last thing we do have external wise on the driver's side is going to be your fresh water tank to fill up. So to fill this up, all you need to do is use your habitation key, which opens this your fresh water cap. Put your hose pipe inside here, and when the water starts to come back out of this hole, that means your fresh water tank is completely full. Obviously if you are filling up your tank, you will need to shut your tank drain valve, which I'll show you in a moment, which is underneath the bed. So anything you are filling up in the vehicle, obviously you do need to shut all the valves. We have got a sliding door on this vehicle. Just highlight, this vehicle does have a halfway point, which stops there, and then to completely close it, you just need to lift the handle again and slide it to shut. So if I slide it open, I can push it to the halfway point, like so. Or if I want it all the way open, just push it all the way to the back and it locks back into place. You do need to hold this handle out if you want to slide it all the way along without and miss the middle stopper. If you leave the handle in, it will catch it. Here we have a fire screen. Just grab this in the middle and then that slides all the way across. Just be careful with these as they are delicate. We have obviously an electric step here, which is controlled on this pillar here. So you've got your switches, some light switches there, but lower down, this one is your control for the electric step. We have a rail here. So this table here, you can unhook it from the rail internally and then hook it on here as well. So then you've got a table outside. So now we are in the habitation area. So directly above the habitation door is going to be all your controls. So on the left hand side here, this is your control panel for the habitation to turn on your pump, your 12-volt system and lights. Here we have your control for your hot water, and then this one here is your diesel heating. So on your 12-volt control panel, to turn it on, you've got the on button on the top right, and then the top left you can turn on your it's by the dial, it's not touchscreen, sorry. You can turn on the habitation lights with this. Twist the dial to the right, you can turn on the awning light, or you can just turn that off, whichever obviously you desire. Next one is external, internal temperature. So that's internal, that's external. You've got settings here, so you can go through some of these settings, time and date, screen time, the backlight on the control panel. Here we have your pump. So on your pump, you only want to turn your pump on when you have got water in the fresh water tank. Otherwise you could potentially burn out the motor in the pump because it's running dry. So always try and keep an eye on making sure you have got water in if you are turning that pump on. Top right, obviously power on and off. Next one is your batteries. So on the left hand side we've got your vehicle battery. On the right hand side we have got your leisure battery. One below it is your water and grey waste. So your left one is your fresh water, which obviously is 0% because everything is empty in this vehicle. And then the right hand side is your grey waste. So these will show you obviously your percentages there. And then the bottom right is just a back arrow. So you've got all this information around the edges as well. And that is the control panel. Here we have your hot water. Obviously on your hot water you do need to obviously prime up your system for your boiler to fill up. Once you have primed your system, which we'll explain in a moment, you can obviously turn this on. If there's no water in the boiler, then obviously this will come up with an error code. To turn it on, just press the plus and that will kick in the hot water to obviously heat up, and then you can turn it on gas here. Obviously I have no gas tanks on, so I'm not going to leave that on, but basically turn your gas tanks on, turn this on gas. This will light up orange once it does ignite. And then your diesel heating here, when it's on green, that means it's turned on. So you can select your desired temperature. So this is blown air, diesel heating, turn that on, and then you've got three settings for how powerful you want the air to circulate, and that will obviously do its thing. When you do shut the diesel heating off, they usually do fire back up. All that is doing is just burning off any fuel left in the chamber. You can set some timers on this as well. You've got ventilation, so you can turn the fan on to circulate air. You can set timers, add timer, so you can set it to come on and off. And then this little circle up here, that is actually your thermostat for the heating. So obviously if the heating hits 35 degrees, when the thermostat picks it up, obviously it will shut it down. To turn it off, obviously on the white, when you've got the white symbol here, that means obviously it's depowered, turned off, and it'll go into a standby mode. Up here we have got your settings for the control, for the rear bed. So that is up and down, and you can control this in the garage area as well, which I'll show you in just a moment. So that is all your controls up there directly above the habitation door. Next I'm going to show you how to unlock the pop top. To obviously get the pop top up, you have got two safety mechanisms here. So you just need to pull this red tab here, which releases one of them, and then you've got your master one here, which you use this connection here, pull that down, and that will then release this hook here. Like so. So you push that up, and that will slide up and down, and then obviously when you are ready to lock it, you can just, it's on an adjuster to obviously lock up. So once you've released these two mechanisms, obviously there is on each side, both the same, so this does secure it down. Once you've released both, then all you need to do is push the pop top up, and then it will obviously go all the way up, and then will give you access into the two bertha at the top. So as you can see, I've now got the pop top up. The bed ladder is currently in the garage, but the bed ladder does connect up here on these connections. You've got two pull handles in the middle here, so obviously pull the pop top down. When you are pulling it down, all you need to do is just make sure that this fabric is coming in on itself. You need to pull it in so it's not trapped, as well as obviously not loose outside. because you don't want that flapping around where you are driving. But it's as easy as that. You have got a safety guard up here as well, which you can stretch out as well. Below, under the travel seats here, I've currently got the cushion up, and the reason for that, first one, here we have your 240 volt main breaker. So you'd need to come here if something trips in the vehicle on your 240 volt side. 9 times out of 10, it is the campsite that trips first, not this box. But worst case scenario, this is where you will need to come to if anything has tripped. And then down here right at the bottom, you've got a yellow handle there. So that handle is going to drain and open your boiler. Obviously you need to close this handle if you want to fill up your boiler with water so you can have hot water. Obviously, if you want to drain the boiler, you need to use this yellow handle, and that will drain. So currently, let me feel. So currently that is in the closed position. To drain it, all you need to do is push the handle and it will open the valve. So now that would drain all the water out of the boiler underneath the vehicle. You need to close this when obviously priming your system, otherwise the water will just drain straight out of the boiler because this is not shut. This dining table here also can go lower down on the rail below, and then you can get an infill cushion to sit on top of this, or potentially this cushion here may work with a back cushion and make up a single berth across there once you swivel the seat there. So in effect you could probably fit 5 people in here sleeping comfortably. To swivel your passenger or driver seat, this grey handle here, if you pull this out and keep it held out when you're swiveling, that will then release the mechanism to swivel all the way around. And once you are finished and want to obviously put it back into travel position, all you need to do is swivel it back and it will lock into place like so. In the cab area we have obviously a multi-function steering wheel. We've got your handbrake on the right hand side, which is electronic, gearbox, and then down here you've got a wireless phone charger. So if you do put your phone on in the middle here, leave it for a few minutes, this will light up here blue, and that will charge up your phone wirelessly. And then down here underneath the driver's seat we have your 12 volt fuse system. So if something blows in the vehicle on the 12 volt side on the habitation, this is where you need to come and check the fuse. So it could be the drop down bed, the 12 volt lights have blown, so you would check one of the fuses here. Also we have a full blackout blind on the front window. You do need 2 hands for this. I'm not going to pull it up with one, but if you get 2 hands, one on each side, pull this up, that will obviously come all the way up, as you can see on the channel here, to the top. Driver and passenger window do have blackout blinds as well, which lock into place there. Slide them back and just need to slide this, lock that into place. That's the same on the passenger side as well. Next we're going to go over the stove. So we've got a 2-ring gas burner, and I'll show you where the gas is in a moment, which is in the garage area. On your gas, obviously you just need to make sure you turn your gas tank on when you are ready to use. Here we have obviously your kitchen tap, which is controlled here. So now we're at campsite. What we want to do is fill up the vehicle with water. So to fill up the vehicle with water, we'll shut all the valves in the motorhome. So we'll shut the fresh water tank valve, so the water's not going to drain out. We'll shut the boiler valve, which is the yellow one. Also we'll shut our grey waste, which is in the toilet cassette area. Once you've shut all them valves, that means no water is going to escape when you are filling up and priming your system. So now we're going to fill up the freshwater tank with the obviously fresh water externally. Once the freshwater tank is full, we're going to prime our system. So what we're going to do, we're going to come to our control panel up here, and then on the bottom left is your water pump. So you're going to turn on that water pump, and then once you turn this on, this will start pumping water from your freshwater tank. Open the tap on the cold side. Basically, once you get a steady flow of water from the freshwater tank, that is your cold side primed. Now I want to fill up my boiler because I want hot water in the evening. I'm going to twist this to the hot side, and what that's going to do is going to take water from your freshwater tank into your boiler, and then from your boiler into through the tap. So when you get a steady flow on the hot side, that means all your pipe work and your boiler is completely primed, ready to use. Obviously you just need to turn on the boiler to obviously get hot water. One last thing what's come to my mind is you have got two internal valves here under the floor. So these are currently open, which are in the vertical position. To close these valves, you just need to knock them down, so that is closed. Basically, that is just emptying any excess water in the pipe work. If these valves are open, then all the water will drain out of the motorhome again as well. So you've got these valves to shut as well. So you've got these valves to shut, fresh water tank to shut. We've got your boiler valve, the yellow valve under there to shut, and then obviously your grey waste, which is in your toilet cassette. So once all them valves are shut and you prime your system, your water system will bleed through. If one of the valves is open, then obviously it will drain straight out the motorhome. One safety advice we do recommend on this gas stove is obviously once you have been using it, because of the temperature difference, we just recommend to let the stove cool down for around 20 minutes. Otherwise you could potentially shatter the glass. Directly below that we have your oven and grill, which is controlled here. Obviously you've got an igniter here, got a light there as well. So you just push it in and twist your dial. You just need to hold that iron because I think the probe is on thermostatic probe. So basically once it gets up to a temperature, it will stay alight. In here we've got obviously your shower area and toilet. If you need to use your toilet, we've got a grey handle there. You need to open this, which opens the toilet cassette. Obviously when you're not using it, shut this grey valve and that will close and obviously stop any smells coming back up. Here we have your toilet flush. So the blue button will use some of your fresh water, and there will be a light that lights up on here on this control panel. So you'll get an orange slash red light, basically that indicating that your toilet cassette is full. Obviously you've got your basin tap there. You don't need to prime this at the same time as your kitchen tap. Once the pipework is primed to 1, all you're doing is opening the tap. Any excess air in the pipes down below will just bleed straight out. You've got some light controls here, and then to convert this into your shower cubicle, just swings across and locks into place like so. And then obviously you don't need to bleed your shower as well, because that will just take a few seconds because the pipework is already primed. Directly above you have got a hanging rack as well, so you've got a rack to dry stuff. Once finished, just clips back into place. And then down below you have got a vent for your heating, so your blown air will come into here, so you could actually use this as a drying room as well. Here we have your fridge freezer. It's got a tall fridge freezer, and this is a compressor fridge. Basically this is going to be running off your Ledger battery. To turn this on, just press and hold the power button and it will flash and light up. you've got your temperature here, and obviously your freezer temperature on the right hand side. To change this temperature, just need to press and hold in the middle, it'll flash once. Like so, and now I can select my desired temperature. On the right hand side, far right, you have got a night mode. Press and hold and it'll flash once again, and I can turn that on and off. So the night mode is good, obviously in the evening. If you're a light sleeper, it just reduces the fan noise, reduces the RPM in the fan. A lot of people, when they are first travelling, what they do is turn this fridge freezer on and put it on high, and then once it does get down to temperature, they usually turn it down to halfway, because it is quite good. It's very insulated and good at maintaining itself. To turn it off, just press and hold the power button and it will completely shut down. But like I said, this is controlled from your ledger battery. Obviously your ledger battery gets charged when you're plugged into mains hookup. Obviously the battery gets charged when you are driving the vehicle as well, because your alternator split charges. Here we have your garage area. Currently got the bed up out the way. You've got your ladder here for the pop top. You've got this board here, which I'm not going to be able to do it because the carpet's there, but you can release this board, swing it around and divide off. So obviously if you have got any stuff in the garage, it's not going to slide straight down through into the motorhome. Under this corner here, as you can see, this is your fresh water tank. So this is where you need to come to close your fresh water tank. So you've got a black valve here, which is your control to drain the fresh water tank. So basically 2 full turns to the right will open the valve and all the water will drain underneath the vehicle. To close this, just twist this black valve 2 full turns, or it may need to be 3. It's done it in 2.5 there, and that will completely close this tank. So I need to close this tank when obviously I'm filling up. If the valve is open, it will just drain straight underneath the motorhome. We've got a handful of storage drawers on this side, and then the last thing in here, we have got your gas locker. So you can fit 2 6-kilogram tanks in here, and then your regulators at the top there. Obviously if you don't want to carry 2 tanks, you could carry 1 and obviously have a little bit more storage. And then the controls for the drop down bed in the garage area are here as well. So like so, that's coming down. I'm going to stop it because it's going to catch this cushion. This cushion needs to be on this side. But this bed will obviously come all the way down. So it's a great bit of a configuration, because obviously you can get the bed out of the way and use this as a decent size garage space. You could put a motorbike in here. You've got obviously tie down points below. As you can see, that is the bed all the way down. So you've still got a decent amount of garage space underneath. Like I said, if you've moved this board to divide, then none of your components are obviously going to slide into the habitation while driving. But then obviously if you do need to carry bikes, you can obviously lift this bed higher, halfway or all the way to the top, depending on obviously what you need to transport. So that is the instructional / overview video complete of the Adria Twin 640 SGX Sport. If you have any more questions, leave a comment below, or you can always drop us an email or give us a call.